The Game Plan is brought to you by Max Jazz Games, whose game you could be playing. This is the text that Nick usually reads, so to read it the exact same way sounds strange, but I am still going to read the bit that he loves reading the most, which is that his game, Kung Pooby, is out right now and you could be playing it. Kung Pooby could sort out your whole gaming week. It is available now on the iOS App Store. Peter, Steph, give me a Kung Pooby. Kung Pooby!
Kung Pooby!
Pooby!
It's just fun to say. All right, let's move on with the game plan. The game plan is, of course, where we look at the games that come out this week so you can plan your week in games. Let's take a look at what's coming out this week. Starting on Tuesday, June 29th, that is tomorrow, and that is when most of these games are coming out. The first game is Curved Space for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. Curved Space is an intense arcade-style twin-stick shooter that takes the classic formula and plunges it into the weirdest reaches of space. Battle cosmic space invading spiders across curved landscapes where bullets hug the terrain while the horizon drops sharply out of sight. That is the full descriptor. There's just like finishing with the actual mechanics of the game. It drops sharply out of sight. From one space game to another, Destroy All Humans is coming to Switch. Also on Tuesday, June 29th, the cult classic returns, terrorize the people of the 1950s Earth in the role of the evil alien Crypto-137, harvest their DNA and bring down the US government in the faithful remake of the legendary alien invasion action adventure. Annihilate puny humans using the assortment of alien weaponry and psychic abilities. Reduce their cities to rumble with your flying saucer. One giant step for mankind, where the horizon drops sharply out of sight on the end of the screen. Then, also on Tuesday, I'm gonna fail at this one. We are getting Disgaea 6? Disgaea 6. Disgaea 6. Defiance of Destiny is coming to Switch. The first new... Oh, for God's sakes. The first new Disgaea game in 6 years is here, probably because people didn't like pronouncing it. Meet Zed, a zombie that's risen above them all except... Meet Zed, a zombie that has risen above them all except one, a god of destruction. Can a mere netherworld zombie rise up and destroy a god? Find out in the newest installment of the Disgaea series. Features such as a super reincarnation, 3D visuals, a first for the series, and adjustable gameplay settings like setting your horizon to drop sharply away at the end of the screen allow this game to make it the perfect game for both new and old Disgaea fans. I really don't like that game already. Also on the Tuesday, Sky, Children of Light is also coming to Switch from the award-winning creators behind Journey, the 2013 Game of the Year, and the highly acclaimed Flower, comes a groundbreaking social adventure that is set to warm your hearts. Welcome to the enchanting world of Sky, a beautifully animated kingdom waiting to be explored by you and your loved ones. In Sky, we arrive as the Children of the Light, spreading hope through the desolate kingdom to return fallen stars to their constellation that are off in the distance and drop sharply away. Spirit of the North comes out on Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One on June 29th. That is still the Tuesday, if you're paying attention. Spirit of the North is a single-player, third-person adventure game inspired by the breathtaking, mysterious landscape of Iceland. Iceland, not Iceland. The story takes root from various pieces of Nordic folklore. Plays an ordinary red fox, just an ordinary one, whose story becomes entwined with the guardian of the Northern Lights, a female spirit fox. Ooh la la. As you journey over the mountains and under red-stained skies, you'll discover more about your companion and a land left in ruin. And finally, on June 30th, which isn't a Tuesday, but is in fact a Wednesday, Doki Doki Literature Club Plus comes to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC. So essentially everything. The original mind-shattering DDLC experience is packed with tons of new features and content exclusive to Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. 6 new side stories about friendship and literature, totaling hours of new content. 100 plus unlockable images of new game art. 26 total music tracks, a built-in DDLC music player, a high fidelity visual upgrade, all with the artwork in full HD 1080p. Ooh, that's a lot of Doki Doki Literature Club, but still no...
And it falls right off at the edge.
No horizon that falls right off at the edge, but all the content does. They are all the games that are coming out this week. Guys, what jumps out, grabs your attention? Stephanie?
Absolutely, Spirit of the North is 100% my jam. I love all things Nordic and I love all things fox. So that's really
Can I ask?
Yes.
Can I ask, are there foxes in Iceland? I thought they didn't have many mammals up there that...
I know that there are Arctic foxes and foxes in like mainland Scandinavia. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about Iceland. I imagine they would have been introduced somehow, if not. But I think it's also just the fact that it's like,
The Poms would have taken them there to hunt.
yeah, and I think they are linked
At some
to
point.
whatever the kind of legend of the Northern Lights are and stuff like that. But it looks
Foxes
really
feel to
beautiful,
me-
and I love it. As an
Foxes feel
idea.
to me like a species that have kind of gotten everywhere these days. Like, they're not pest level, but there's one on every continent, I think, at least.
Yeah,
I think
totally.
they're a pest. I think they are a pest.
Yeah.
They're not in pest numbers, but they are a pest.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're a cute pest.
My question is Doki Doki Literature Club, is the original version currently on console already?
I don't believe so. I thought it was strictly a PC game. That's what I thought. The
I
fox
just
slides down
find-
a waterfall. That looks great.
I just find that like that as a game is really, really dark. And it kind of seems to me like the thing that would only ever exist on PC. There's also elements of that game, without spoiling anything.
I haven't played it, but there's some like fourth wall breaking contextual stuff based on like the hardware that you're on, right?
Totally. Steph, you played
Yes,
through this
that's-
entirely with a mate
that's-
of yours, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yeah. You're absolutely right. That's the best way to put it. There is some fourth wall breaking stuff that happens that is specific, that asks you to do things that are specific to the platform of PC that won't translate to console. But also it just seems like, I don't know why I think this, but like these kinds of games that are like really, that have content in it that is like, I would just hate for some random kid to see this and think, oh, this is like a fun anime game, and just not really see the rating. And then like there are just some like really hectic like suicide themes in this game.
Yeah, and it
I'm
takes
just
a real
surprised that it's on console and being marketed in the way that it is, you know?
And as you said, being packaged this way, it definitely looks like there are a heap of games on the Switch in particular. I think when I browse the Switch eStore, there's a ton of like anime dating-esque kind of games with, sometimes they're like really innocent, sweet and pure and all just like cute characters with big eyes. A lot of the time they're like busty or a bit kind of like, it's super, then you see in the corner, it's like, it's MA15 plus, and you're like, oh, right, it's one of those dating games. Whereas this game, I think, as you said, has some really dark themes, and it came as a bit of a surprise when the game picked up a bit of a cult following on PC. I'm with you. The way this is being sold, especially like maybe on the Switch, which is seen as a bit more of a platform for younger gamers. I don't know how this is going to work. I've heard a lot of people speculate the exact same thing that you said, being like, how is this going to work? And also, why is this even coming to anything else? It was such like a specific experience of a game that existed in this one little spot in time. So
yeah, it's a great game. I really enjoyed it. It's really quite clever, but yeah, it's so dark, and it sits in a weird space with me that it's coming to console and being marketed in the way that it is. Unless they've
Presumably that's what
altered
the
it
content
somehow.
updates are, right? Yeah, that's got to be. There's got to be like, something to do with maybe that they can't go and do some file exploring or whatever. But like for the Switch, maybe there's something as like interesting from a game design perspective where they're like, go and check out your screenshots and there's something hidden in there or something like that. Maybe they've worked out some way to
I have seen
push some
maybe
info across.
they could do that thing where you get a bit of like a faux desktop situation, so the game's launching through that. So maybe the game itself.
It's not the
opens a
same.
computer.
It's not the same.
Oh, I'm sure it wouldn't be. I guess I'm more interested in, as you said, some of those darker themes and whether or not this is a sanitized version of the game in some sense. Whether or not they've picked up on the parts that other people liked and kind of stripped away the weird dark stuff. But I think that takes away from why this game became so popular. So be interested to see a review and see what they have to say about it. Peter, what game jumps out of the Game Club at you?
Well, it's got to be Sky, Children of the Light.
Does it?
That game company have only had successes in my eyes. It's the kind of thing that, even when I first looked at Journey, I was like, that just looks like a little indie darling, whatever. It's not going to have a lot of impact. And obviously, Journey, one of the greatest gaming experiences we've all shared. So I'm really excited about it. Even when I look at this thing, I'm like, none of this looks like it's like a must play to me, but I know that this is a developer that make sure you feel why that game is important while you're playing it. And I think even if I look at this and go there's some interesting art, but it doesn't necessarily scream out must play. It is a must play. And I hope they stick the landing like they tend to do.
Yeah, I think artistically it does look like it's taken a broader bunch of sort of styles, whereas the thing I liked so much about Journey and even Flower is it was so distinctly one sort of artistic vision. I feel like this is a bit more, I don't want to say generic, but it just feels like it could be, if you blinked and weren't really paying attention, it could fit as a different type, a generic fantasy game. So I hope
I like that they all seem like they're visually linked, though, in a very obvious way. Even though the art style kind of shifts between each game, it is very much a That Game Company game, and there are a lot of there's a lot of familiarity in the way the game looks, and I think in the way it plays as well. It looks like it's of the same family.
A lot of wind, a lot of capes, a lot of like spheres transporting things in a very nothing lands with a thud in a that game. Everything lands with a soft little it lands.
An Austin Wintory chord.
And also mysteries of lost civilizations of the past.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing futuristic.
Nothing curves off the edge of this globe.
Well, that's the thing. Nothing drops sharply out of sight off the horizon. But I actually I'm intrigued by curved space. I like a good arcade twin stick style shooter. I like Geometry Wars. I can't remember the name of most of them because they always have like Rezo Gun and stuff. They always have stupid names. But curved space kind of looks cool. And sometimes I find these games for me are like quite therapeutic. They are just this kind of like, yeah, just this sort of you zen out as you just shoot and spray and strafe, and this kind of looks like an interesting Mario Galaxy take on some sort of Space Invader-y game. So yeah, I would definitely give this a go actually, and I'm sad it's not coming to Switch because that kind of is what I would perfectly play this on.
Yeah, totally. I like these kind of games too, and this one looks like particularly. I can understand why people are getting a bit like motion sick watching it, and it's hard to like grasp what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But again, it's that kind of thing that when your head is in it, it's like once you mapped out the world in your head, the map doesn't matter anymore. It's like you find that groove. And I think this looks like a game that would work quite well for that. Even like the top of the footage has like the bullets hug the landscape. You watch when the bullets go up, like the pillars here, they wrap back around them and come back down and stuff. It's like you're going to be able to shoot around poles at people and stuff. Like, it's very cool.
It's also probably a game that if you're staring at the main ship or craft, like that's why you're probably not getting motion sickness. Like watching a trailer, your eyes are darting everywhere. But those are those games where you just become really like, I want to say sort of hypnotized by what's going on, and you just get in this kind of zen-like state. So fingers crossed it doesn't make me motion sick. Again, a reason I'd like it on a Switch so I could just go look away for a second and watch my little tiny screen and see how we go. So
and then reinstall. Damn, I've forgotten the name of it. Your ship game. I was going to say Spirited Away. It's called Spirit Vessel.
Spiritfarer.
No, that's a really lovely game.
One. That's
the sailing one was called
Shipwrecked. Raft. Boards.
Wind Islands.
Windbreaker. Wind
something.
Waker. The Legend of Zelda.
There you go. Nailed it. Got it in one.
Windbound. Thank you, Miss Silver.
That is not the game.
Windbound.
Windbound, thank you very much. That was the one. Yes. Windbound is not coming out, but those were the games that are coming out this week, and now you know that. Please let us know in the comments what you'll be playing this week or what you're excited to play.